Hello, everyone, and recently I got reminded of one of the things I'm not so great at, which I'll admit is a strikingly few things. But unfortunately, thanks for that, one of those things is in fact fighting games. Now, one of the things I am really good at is knowing about the DC Universe. And it's honestly one of my favorite things to know about, despite my last few comments about their movies, but
Hey guys, I'm here.
that disgusting horse laughter you're hearing is none other than our good friend Jared from Ninja Mafia Entertainment.
Here to kick.
He's here mostly because I don't know that much about the Injustice universe, and he does. What I do know is that Injustice 2 here is a sequel to the first Injustice game. Does it hold up as well? Let's find out as we review Injustice: Gods Among Us 2, which is not actually the title, but it should have been. Now, we're going to go ahead and just do a standard versus battle because, let's face facts, that's what everybody's going to be playing this for. Well, I'll talk about the story because I have some misgivings with it, but everything else can be summed up with this. Now then, Jared? Alright, so as you can see, you got a fairly large roster of characters to pick from, and you can do just about anything you really want out of them. And let's see, who do I want to play as?
There's so many more characters to choose from in this one.
I'll be Scarecrow. I don't know who this guy is. But
The Flash.
There's a decent roster, and
Fighters approaching Brainiac's ship.
it's pretty good for it. That being said, most of my complaints about this tie into the story, so I'm going to save those till later. So let's go ahead and jump into the visual portion of this game, which I've got to admit, I'm not that crazy about most of them.
Begin.
Some of them look pretty good, but then you have others that just look awkward.
Oh, that's how it is that move.
And while we try desperately to figure out what the heck's going on here.
Oh.
Alright, hang on. I'm going to see my moves. Okay. Back X, back Y, down back A.
Roughly the same controls as the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus.
Well, actually, I'll get to this in a second. This game has some decent stuff to it. I like it. It looks fairly good, but then the facial animations for some of the people in this just look awful.
Even that
I mean,
fucking chain.
I thought Mass Effect Andromeda had some bad looking stuff, but nothing compared to some of the facial features in this. Another problem is nobody looks, well, for lack of a better term,
Nobody looks
tall. They all kind of look like this weird stocky version of them. Which, I guess, works for a parallel universe, but it really kind of creates a bizarre contrast with just how really striking the first game looked. I'll let you go ahead and have this, because these are always fun.
Oh, it runs into the...
Yeah, he runs through time. So this is as good a place as any, since I've talked about the graphics and how I don't really like them so much. Let's talk about the gameplay. Oh, come on now. I'll let you have your super.
I'm
Could've
in it
blocked
to win it.
And
I'm apparently not
the
in
gameplay is good. Like I said, I'm not a very good fighting game guy, but for what this is, I mean, I can... Wow, you really cheesed that fight, Jared. For what this is, it's decent enough. It's got simple enough controls so that even a novice guy like me can do some stuff. But for more experienced players, if you want to do deep combos, push the button. Then that's there. And you can do that. So it's every standard fighting game that's come out, which should come as no surprise, seeing as how the developer NetherRealms is the developer of one of the
Black
most
Canary.
successful and well-known fighting games in the world, Mortal Kombat. So,
Yeah, I was honestly surprised there wasn't any Mortal Kombat characters in this, because you could use them in Injustice 1. You had access to Scorpion.
right. Well, like I say, it's okay for what it is. The fighting is good and deep for those who want it good and deep, and there's also a bunch of real simple combos for the people like me who can't really do a whole bunch.
Alright.
So,
Arrow.
we can just let that happen.
Fighters approaching Gotham City.
That being said, I think it's time to talk about the lowest point about this, which is unfortunately the story.
You booked Connor's sitter, yeah?
Because,
I thought you were booking the sitter.
honestly, this is the big failing point. I know it shouldn't bug me this bad because it's a fighting game, but I just honestly really found it lackluster for what all you had going for this. This should have been something that you could have easily played around with. Something that you 100...
You can do this. That, yeah.
Yeah, I
Green
can do
Arrow's
that
the
too.
same.
So,
Ooh,
you got an
that's
achievement.
mean. That's old Ollie and Black Canary for you in the storyline. Sometimes he was a dick.
Yeah, well, sometimes you're a dick, so.
You're welcome.
Anyway, like I say, the story is more than a bit lacking. It picks up sometime after the first Injustice happened, with Superman in prison and several of his followers in jail with him.
Ah, dick.
Oh yeah, not so good now, is it? And damn it. That's honestly about it. Brainiac comes down and you have to learn to fight together. But you kind of already know how to fight together because you're the Justice League. And for all the points that happen in the end, I'm sure that everybody's seen.
I'm getting my ass kicked here.
Yeah,
Good
this was
job.
Black Canary is freaking awesome. She was, no joke, one of my favorite characters in this game.
I was really good with Green Arrow in the last game, but
There we go.
Black Canary was not an option. I was
Well, she is
good
now,
at
and she
it.
kicks ass.
Green wins.
Brainiac comes down and starts doing his whole city,
What's
collection
with the yellow
thing.
Jacket. Is that a?
Oh, that's just something I can put on. And that's it. There's an entire extra thing where Superman's still crazy and evil, and it reeks
Captain
of
Cold.
just the standard. I'm so tired of seeing Superman be the one who, when things go badly, is the one who goes completely and totally nutso crazy.
Can
I mean-
you choose the alternate skins in this?
Not until you unlock them, and I haven't unlocked them.
Supergirl.
Which I will be getting to that in just a moment.
Fighters approaching Brainiac's ship.
Right after I finish griping about the story, because honestly, I really think it would have been a much more interesting story if you did something else, like just the standard Justice League. Like Brainiac comes in, and then like Earth 2 superheroes like Ultraman and Owlman
Begin.
start invading.
Earth 3.
Oh, is that Earth 3?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Earth 2 is like the older Earth Justice League.
No. Hope everybody's enjoying our gameplay here.
Hold on, I need to.
Okay, let's
figure out her
okay.
controls.
You learn her moves. I'll rant about this, but it just seems set. Yeah, I was ready. Thanks.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you didn't even bother to ask.
Sorry.
Okay, third thing I need to complain about is idiot friends who just immediately unpause and start hitting you. All right, we're good. There, take that. But I know it's just a personal complaint, but it's just something I
son
don't
of a
like.
bitch!
Anyway, That being said, the real big problem about this is all the extra stuff you can unlock. Now, as you saw, my Black Canary didn't look like Black Canary looked like in the standard version there. Mine had some special stuff put on, and that's because I unlocked a whole bunch of special gear. Now, because I unlocked that, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I get for it. But, that being said, I have to either spend in-game currency to unlock the boxes, or I have to pay real money. And the microtransactions get kind of awful. So, and because they're not just cosmetic changes in the game, they're actual legitimate stat affecting differences, it is possible for somebody to have spent more money and get a better performance out of the game.
Which makes me wonder if, like, the $90, like, deluxe gold version of this comes with just a bunch of that crap unlocked.
I don't think so.
Bane.
Probably Bane.
Robin.
But yeah, the microtransaction stuff
Arkham
is
Asylum.
really, really awful in this. And that unfortunately affects kind of everything about this game. Normally it'd be a really fun party game to just bust out with your friends, but because of all the microtransactions, you now have to pay to unlock everything if you want it. Or you spend
Hold on.
hours grinding. Now, that's gonna look good when you come down. Alright. And I've got mine. You got yours?
Hold on.
Come on, Jared. And there we go. Ow!
Yeah, Damien uses the sword, remember?
Yeah, I know that. Stop! I was gonna hit you with that.
I said, yeah, sir!
Anyway. It can be a lot of fun, but unfortunately the fun stops at where you and your friends play. So, what fun you do get out of it will be the amount that you get on initial play, or unless you just really are into this franchise. That being said, if you are, it can be good. These are always a lot of fun.
I
At
really
least for the
need
guy who gets them.
I really need to just like sit and play this game for like 7 hours. Because I honestly, my stats from the first one do not transfer over.
Nope. But that's about it. It's a decent fighting game to play with some friends. Past that, though, I can't recommend this as much more than a rental. If you find more enjoyment in it, good for you. Otherwise, I'm afraid you just have to leave it by the wayside. We'll see you back here next time, everybody.
Later.
Laters.